Hello, welcome to Late Night Creations. My name is Kendra, and today I have a great video collabing with some great content creators. Right now, I'm going to let Kay of Crafting Cousins tell you all about this collab and how to win the prizes.
Today we are teaming up with some of our crafty friends for a Christmas collaboration. We are all so thankful for each and every one of you and wanted to be able to do a giveaway just in time for Christmas. We are excited to announce that we will have 3 winners. Don't skip forward. Watch the rest of this clip to see what you have to do to have a chance to win and how you can qualify. If you are looking for a beautiful piece to dress up your home or to give as a gift, check out Tailored Canvases. They have gorgeous canvases for every room of your home, and you can even get a personalized canvas. Tailored Canvases will be gifting one lucky friend with a canvas of their choice up to a size of 24 by 48 inches. These are high quality home decor pieces that you are sure to love. Hop over to their website listed below and check out all they have to offer. Next we have Totally Dazzled. No matter what the occasion, if you want to add a little sparkle or a lot of bling, you can find the perfect pieces at Totally Dazzled. They have gorgeous pieces that can be used to dress up your craft projects, give the perfect sparkle to your table, or even add to your wedding. Totally Dazzled has generously provided a $50 gift certificate for one lucky friend to use on whatever they would like from their website. Make sure you follow the link in the description box below to go check out all of their beautiful pieces. Last but certainly not least, we have a SUREBONDER Grace Monroe Glue Skillet Kit. You will see Trish using hers in the Crafting Cousins video and will see just how handy it is, especially when working with florals. It saves your fingers from burns and is an invaluable tool that any crafter would love to get, especially at Christmas. Follow the link in the description box to get even more information on this amazing gift. Now, how do you qualify? Watch all 5 videos in the collaboration. Each creator will ask you a specific question somewhere in their video. Leave your answer to the question in the comments and you are entered to win. You must answer the question for each of the 5 videos to be eligible. We will be drawing for our winners on Saturday, December 17th, and will announce the winners on the community tabs for our channels. Please be advised that Tailored Canvases, Totally Dazzled, and SUREBONDER are providing these amazing gifts at no charge in connection with these videos. Also, please note that this giveaway is in no way associated with YouTube, and YouTube is not responsible for anything regarding the giveaway. As always, we would like to thank you for your support. We appreciate you all. Good luck in the drawings and Merry Christmas.
Okay, let's get crafting. Okay, I have this branch that came out of my yard, a tree bush thingy that I have in my yard. And I'm just going to sand off the loose bark and just get it, presentable. And I have some white chalk paint. I'm going to put one, raw coat on here. Now, I'm not looking for complete coverage. And then I'm going to take the Fawn by Waverly and dry brush it with just an old chippy brush. And, the more beat up it is, the better. And then I have Chocolate Sprinkle by Apple Barrel maybe. And I'm going to do a little dry brush with that as well. And then I cut out some decals on my Cricut that say Joy to the World. And I'm going to put these on each little block. These little 1x4s I had in my stash. They were left over from some project that we did, and I just thought this was going to be so cute. So the theme of this video is Joy to the World. In this collab, we all picked a song, and our crafts, our creations are going to rotate, revolve around that song. So mine is Joy to the World. So I'm using the DIY clear wax, and I'm going to give everything a good coat of the clear wax. I'm going to use some twine to tie on to my branch and make a little hanger. One thing that I do like to do, I don't think I get it on camera, but a little tip is I like to put a little drop of super glue in those twine knots to keep them from coming loose. Now I am just wrapping this twine around the blocks on each side. You can just see what I'm doing. I am putting a little drop of hot glue in these in the top instead of the super glue because I want it to hold really quickly. So I'm just putting a little line of hot glue across the back, and then as I wrap, I'm making sure that that twine lays in that glue, and now I'm making sure that I'm not covering up my words. That's what I'm looking at right here. Now, I'm gonna put another little drop of glue and tie it up. Now, when you go to hang these on the branch, I'm just gonna hang them, make them all even. You might want to hang your branch on the wall because the branch doesn't hang evenly like it's laying down. So I had to undo and redo this, but I ended up hanging it on the wall, and then so that they all came out straight, and it worked out better hanging it on the wall and tying them on while it was hanging on the wall. Spit it out, Kendra. So there it is, all finished. I love how it turned out, very rustic and very beautiful. Okay, the next Joy to the World DIY. So I'm using this super glue, wood glue from Dollar Tree, and these two little wood rounds that I ordered off of Amazon. And I'm gluing two of them together and clamping them down, and then I'm going to drill some holes in so that I have a way to hang them. Now I'm going to use some Mod Podge, some paint markers, and some printables, free printables off of the internet that I just Googled free printables, free music lyrics, free maps, and I just printed them off on my printer. I ended up only using the sheet music for these DIYs. Now I'm going to use Mod Podge, the iron-on method, so I'm going to give a good coat of Mod Podge all over all of these rounds, and then I'm going to let it dry completely. And then I'm just going to trace around my blank. I'm going to cut it out, and then I am going to iron it on. Now I'm going to line up my words with my holes so that it's going to hang straight. I'm going to use my parchment paper and my little heat press, my little mini heat press, but you can use any kind of iron as long as there's no steam, and voila, no wrinkles, beautiful press every single time. I'm just going to use this little sanding sponge. You can use a nail file and just with a downward motion get rid of all that excess paper. You can see over on my little papers on the side how much I practiced writing, making sure that the ink was, or the paint was all coming down properly, and just in my own handwriting I just wrote the words joy on here. So you don't need to Cricut for this particular one. And then I'm just going to put this twine, this red twine I got on Amazon, as a hanger, and then just going to make a little red twine bow. On the green one I did the same thing, only with some green twine. So these are very simple, very minimal, and I think they turned out really cute. Let me know what you think. You could put these on a tier tray, you could hang them on your tree, you could put them in a garland, you could put them on a wreath. There's, very versatile. Now the next one is those same rounds that I did, and I used the music lyrics, the music sheet that was a little bit different. I had printed it on different paper, and then I just used some Truffle by Waverly and did a little dry brushing to make it look a little more worn. And I'm just going to make a twine hanger at the top, and I'm going to use just some little bits and pieces of extra things that I never throw away. I have a little baggies here and there of all kinds of little bits and pieces of greenery and florals and such, because you're always going to need something for a small little project just like this one. So I had this little piece of greenery. I'm going to glue it down. I'm going to glue some little berries and some twine, and I'm not sure what all I'm going to glue on this. I did them all a little differently. I did one with just some twine. I did one with some little pine cones, and I think they turned out super cute. This is a really easy twine bow. I don't know if you can really see it if I've sped it up so much, but just wrap it around your fingers, and the last time, pull it up through a loop and tighten it real tight. Make sure it's right in the middle, and it's just an easy, really just little loopy bow. Really easy bow to make. So I'm going to just glue that down. It would be cute just to leave it like that. I'm going to glue a few little berries in. These had, there were a couple places where the paint had chipped off and there were some white spots, so I just made sure that I glued those white spots where you couldn't see them. I have had some where when I glued them, once I glued them on, I chipped some of the white off, or they were so bad that I couldn't hide it, so I just took some red paint and dabbed it on and fixed it like that. So here they are all finished. I have them in a garland on my piano, and I think that they look really, really pretty. On to our next DIY. This little framed sheet music decor piece turned out really pretty. I am going to take some ink by Waverly, Waverly, and I'm going to paint just this top little piece right here, the sides and the back of this little frame that I got at Dollar Tree. And I took the hanger off. You saw me take the hanger off, and I thought I was going to replace the hanger, but you are going to see shortly why I did not get to replace that hanger. But anyway, I do the top all the way around, I do the sides, and I do the back. And then I'm going to cover that inside little part of this tray frame with Mod Podge and use that same method that I've been using with the iron and the Mod Podge. It fit pretty good as the width. I put it in, pressed it down with my fingers. I'm going to use my paper cutter to cut it because I don't cut very straight with the scissors, and I want this to be straight, so I cut it. So I'm putting a good healthy coat of Mod Podge in here. We want to get a good healthy coat, but smooth it. You don't want to have lumps and bumps when you're using the iron-on method. And then put it aside, let it dry while I made a bow for something else, or start another project, put another coat of paint somewhere. And then once it's completely dry, we'll take our non-steam iron or heat press and just press it down. I am not real sure that I had to have this parchment paper on here because the scrapbook paper is pretty thick. You see, I keep wanting not to use it, but I was afraid that I might burn my paper, and I did not want to ruin my project. So I just kept using the parchment paper, and it works like a charm. If you haven't tried this method, I highly recommend it. There are no wrinkles, no bumps, no lumps. It is just beautiful, very professional. Okay, so here is some little ribbon. I got this on Amazon a couple years ago for Camp Gigi. We had a musical theme, and we used this ribbon. Do you see those little holes right there? That was supposed to be the top of this decor piece where the hanger goes. So, well, guess what? I'm going to use this. I'm trying to place those musical notes over the holes as best I can to hide that. And we're just going to have a cute little decor piece of that ribbon on the bottom. We fixed that little boo-boo. Okay, so I made a bow out of this beautiful black ribbon I got. It's been in my stash, but I remember that I got it after Christmas on clearance at Hobby Lobby probably 3 or 4 years ago. And I've just been using it because, it doesn't take a whole lot. You just use a little to make a bow here and there, and it lasts forever. So here it is. Put a hanger on the back, and it is done. I think it turned out just beautiful. Okay, while I create this next DIY, which is very self-explanatory, you watch how I make it, and I am going to ask the question that you need to answer in the comment below to be entered for the prizes, the wonderful prizes. Okay, so my question to you is, did you have or do you have a tradition that includes going sightseeing to see Christmas lights? Did you take your children to see Christmas lights? Do you take your children? Did you go as a child? As a child, I don't remember us having that as a tradition. We did go see Christmas lights. I loved it. It was one of my favorite things. We lived in a very small rural country town, and so, we lived in the country most of my life. But my grandparents lived in Tucson, Arizona, and one Christmas we got to go out there. We probably did more than one Christmas. I just remember this one particular Christmas, and I was probably about 6 or 7 years old, and if my mom's watching, she can correct me on this, but we got to drive around Tucson on whatever night it was. In my mind, I think it was Christmas Eve, but we drove around and we looked at Christmas lights, and it was big city Christmas lights, and they were beautiful, and I was just in awe. They were just so beautiful. And in particular, I loved this. I can just remember this plain as day, that there was this house with big blue. All the lights were blue. They were solid blue, and they were those nice big blue Christmas lights. And when we got back to my grandparents' house, Santa had been there. I could not figure out how Santa knew that we were in Arizona for Christmas. So let me know in the comment below if you have or have had a tradition where you went and looked at Christmas lights. That is the question to answer in my video. And be sure to watch all the other videos and listen for their question and answer their questions so you can be in the drawing to win a wonderful prize. Okay, on to the next Joy to the World DIY. So I have these wood rounds. Painted this one black in the inside. I didn't get that on camera, but I just painted it with that black ink chalk. Now I made a decal using heat transfer vinyl on my Cricut. This was my very first time to ever use it on wood, and let me tell you friends, I'm in love. Why I didn't do this sooner, I don't know, but it worked so beautiful. It just pressed it in there. I just kept rubbing it and filling of it, and I just couldn't get over it. It did make it warm all the way through, so I need to be careful when I do that on my little rubber mat, because if you watched the video where I forgot that I was using my big press, and I pressed, can't even remember what I was making now, and I pressed it, and yeah, ruined my mat, melted it, because I'm blonde, and that's what I did. So I'm trying to be careful. This mat that I have here is just a portion of that mat, because I had to cut it up and get rid of the melted part. Anyway, just making a little hanger. I like for them to hang straight, and sometimes if you put the hanger just straight in there, they don't hang straight. And then sometimes I use just a regular ornament hanger in the twine, depending on, where it's going to hang, how it's going to hang. Anyway, I think this turned out super, super cute. Later on, you're going to see another ornament I made using this same type of ornament, and you'll see that I didn't paint it. So, okay, on to the next Joy to the World DIY. So I had these little red Jingle Bells from Dollar Tree, and they were not the right color red. They were too shiny. So I'm using, I believe this is Lacquer by Waverly, and I'm going to dry it with my heat gun because I'm a little impatient, and the chalk paint dries really fast, especially when you put a little heat and air to it. And then I'm going to take this Chocolate Sprinkle by Apple Barrel and just dirty it up a little bit so that it looks a little aged, because I like that look. And here we go with another heat transfer vinyl decal. I am addicted to it now. I just love it. And I love this little joy. I've used it in previous videos as well. And this is a little mini cutting board. I got it Aldi. I got it in a pack of 4. And there was 2 small ones and 2 large ones. They had ovals, they had round ones, they had rectangular ones, they had square ones. And the original price, I think, was $4.49 or $4.99. And I got them on clearance. I think I might have paid full price for one, and when I went back to get more, they were on clearance for $2.99. That was a steal, so I bought a bunch of them. So you will probably be seeing a lot of them in my videos. So you can see what I'm doing here. that I am just putting this all together. Making a little twine bow, that little piece of greenery. They kind of remind me of chenille stems or pipe cleaners, we called them growing up, but they have garland on them from Dollar Tree, and so I just cut a little piece of that off for that greenery, and I ended up tying a little knot in the middle of it to make it a little shorter, so I can put the Jingle Bells on. I'm going to glue them down, and then I'm going to glue that greenery on top, and then the twine bow on top of that, and it turns out really cute. And I don't know if you all are aware, but Joy to the World was written about the second coming of Christ, not the birth of Christ. So when I discovered that, I thought that was really interesting. So I looked into it a little bit more, and you can Google it and you can find out that information. The man, I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, who wrote it, then some years later, another man put it to song. So that's just a little trivia for the song Joy to the World. Okay, so here's another one of those rounds. I got those on Amazon, and I sanded a little so it would be smooth, so my decal that I made on my Cricut would be smooth. It would fit on there smoothly. I'm lining this up with the hole on the ornament so that it'll hang straight, and just going to remove that. Now I have this torch paste. I always want to call it scorch paste for some reason. I have this torch paste that I purchased off of Amazon. I will try to remember to link it in the description box below. Did you see the little amount that I got on my little spatula, my little squeegee? And it was way too much. So it takes such a small amount. Now I'm going to peel this stencil off, and I'm going to let that paste dry, because it doesn't bleed as much if it's dry, which it doesn't seem like it would work if it were dry, but it does. I'm going to take my heat gun, and about 2 or 3 minutes of the heat on high, it's going to start burning. And you see me put that piece of cardboard under there because I did not want to melt my mat. And once it starts burning, it starts burning it faster. It takes a little while for it to get started, but yeah. And then, the longer you burn it, the darker it gets. So I didn't burn it too long because I didn't want it to get too dark. But I think this turned out fantastic. I believe that I did some DIY clear wax over the top of it. I'm not positive about that, but I'm pretty sure I did. So there is that finished product. Let me know what you think about this. Have you ever tried the torch paste? Okay, here's the last DIY for this video. This is just one of those little, I don't know if this is a wood plank from Dollar Tree. They have some similar to this, or I had picked up a while back some of these in a package at Ross, and they were very inexpensive. They ended up being about 60 cents a piece. So I used some Sawmill Gravy by Dixie Belle, one of my favorite paint colors, and I used the DIY dark wax over it, which I love those two, that combination together. I did Joy to the World with a decal and the iron-on method again. Like I'm telling you, I'm obsessed with that now that I've discovered it. Gonna drill some holes in the top for a hanger, and I just decided to show you how cute those little curls were because I'm a silly goose. And then I'm going to take the DIY dark wax and give it a good coat on this spindle. This is one of those spindles that I have in my stash of 177 spindles, and actually I've shared a few of my spindles, so it's dwindling down. I probably still have about 130. So if you live in my area and you need a few spindles, just holler at your girl and I'll share. I got them for free, and I've been doing lots of DIYs with them. They're just fantastic. So I drilled some holes in the spindle. I'm putting some beads. You can just see what I'm doing here. It's not rocket science. I was going to use that taller piece as my hanger, And then I decided that it was too narrow. I didn't really like it. I didn't like how it was working, so I decided to pull that down, and I'll make my hanger a little bit differently. I'm going to do it the same way I did on the rustic one in the beginning. Be sure that you check out the playlist and go and watch all the other creators in this collab. They are fantastic. I'm very honored to be a part of this collab. I've been watching some of these people in this collab, these creators in this collab, for a long time, and I feel very honored to be a part of it, to be creating with them. And some of them are new to me, and I'm so glad that I have met them, because I've really enjoyed getting to know them and their channel. So please go and check out their channels, the playlist, and comment so that you can enter to win these great prizes. There are some great prizes. So you can see here that I'm just tying this up to make a hanger. I love this. I feel like it looks like one of those signs from like maybe the 1800s where they would put it outside their building to put the name of their business. I forget what that's called. You know, the doctor would put it out or whatever. Let me know if you can tell me what that was. But anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas.